Welcome back to Redbird Projects. Today we're going to be making a Little Red Riding Hood cape. I'm going to be Little Red Riding Hood this year, so this costume can be for Halloween, of course. Any kind of costume party, or if you just want to wear a cape one day, that's cool too. So here you can see I'm just kind of drawing out the shapes that I need for the cape construction. So for the front, you need a left piece and a right piece, and the back piece is basically left and right joined together. And then the hood piece is after that. So in total, there is 5 pieces of material that you'll be cutting out. I used jersey. You can use any type of fabric. Velvet would look really nice. I didn't use velvet because, well, I actually really don't like the feeling of velvet on my skin, but that's just me and others that are like me. But yeah, velvet would look really pretty. And yeah, so I'll just get right into it because I know I don't have too much time with this video. After this clip, you'll see I put down my measurements. You can use those measurements. Keep in mind I'm like 5'3", 5'4", so I'm fairly petite. There are other YouTube tutorials for this cape, and some of them have pattern pieces that you can download, so you could go use that. Or you can kind of just guesstimate. Like, it's honestly not that tricky. Here I used a garment that I own and just kind of made it look like a cape. So if you can do that too, that's great. Otherwise, you can use my measurements as a reference point, or another YouTube tutorial free pattern piece PDF file. So let's say you're doing this. You just pin around your garment and you cut around it. Make sure you leave about 1/2 inch seam allowance. You can have 1/4 inch as well. It doesn't really matter. Anything less than 1/4 inch is a little risque, just in case you make a mistake or something. So once you cut out your pieces, oh, well, okay. Here I folded the fabric to cut out the back, just because it's easier, it's less tedious to kind of put the 2 other pieces together. Just cut it on the fold, it's better that way. And then you'll have those pieces. And then once you've done that, you'll cut your hood. So for the hood piece, it's basically the neckline cut, curved line, and then a straight line. So that doesn't make any sense unless you actually see me doing it, which is here. So I folded it again just because you need 2 pieces exactly the same. With jersey material, there's no right or wrong side either, so that's nice. So yeah, you can use my measurements, or you can just kind of put the fabric on your head and see what you like. But so this is what I mean by using the neckline, because you want to have that same size. So that's now the neckline. And then you're going to cut a curved, like a half circle kind of deal. And then let that join up to the straight line, because the straight bit is the opening of the hood. And then you sew along the curved part. So it's fairly easy. I mean, if I'm not being clear enough, then you can just ask me specific questions. So once you've cut out your pieces, you're going to construct your hood. So right sides together, and just sew along the curved bit. Now you can pin it, or you can just not pin it. Uh, yeah, so for the hood, I did 1/4 inch seam allowance. And just remember when you're doing any kind of sewing, back stitch at the front or at the beginning and also at the end, just to make it secure. So when you've done your hood, put that aside and start sewing up the side seams of your cape. And that's fairly easy. There's really nothing to go into detail with that. But what you're going to have to do is a stay stitch at the neckline, just because, well, I guess it depends on the fabric you use, but I use jersey and it's stretched like crazy. So do a stay stitch at the top, 1/4 inch or less, and gather the material up so it sits at all the right points. Like the side seam needs to be kind of where your shoulder is, I guess. And you also want it to match up with your hood, so you can keep referencing, or yeah, I guess referencing your hood while you're making all of these gathers, just to see if it's meeting the same length. And so once you've done that, you can then sew the hood on. And what you have to do is find the middle point of the back of the hood, the back neckline of the hood, I guess, with the back center line of the cape. So both center points are together. You can put notches while you're cutting out your pattern pieces. I mean, that's the smart thing to do, but I kind of just go along with it. I eyeball pretty much everything. So, okay, here you can see me right sides together sewing up what looks like the right side of the cape, because that's inside out, so it would be the right side or the left side, depending if you're looking at me or if I'm, yeah. So back stitch, beginning and at the end, and then do your stay stitch. Here I'm doing the stay stitch along the neckline. And a stay stitch is basically a really loose stitch, which allows you to move the fabric along the thread. So you just hold one thread and you just pull it all along. So that's pretty much it. Once you've sewed on the hood, you can hem the bottom, you can leave it raw, you can leave the opening raw or fold that and stitch that, add some ribbon, and you're set. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I see a lot of Little Red Riding Hoods this year. And until next time, happy Halloween! Thanks for watching, guys. Here's the final look. For